So here's the things that I want to talk about. These are pressing heavily on my mind. The first one is the use of slow motion replay in sports.
Okay.
All sports. I understand it with auto racing, for example, when there's a crash. I understand it in football when there's a tackle or some sort of play that you can. Was his foot in? Was he out? Let's review the slow motion instant replay. I understand it in horse racing, why you would have to do a slow motion replay to see who the winner is. But I was watching slow motion replay recently, and they had the strongman competition, and some of these are older videos. I don't understand slow motion replay when a guy's lifting weights because it looks exactly the same in slow motion.
It's just slow.
It doesn't even look slower. It's just him straining. And then they cut while they're commenting about how heavy it was. Well, he really struggled with that. You think it was 400 pounds? Yeah,
really?
He looked like he was really struggling with that. Mm-hmm. That's because it's heavy. And as they're talking about that, they show a slow motion of him grimacing to lift it up.
I, for one, really enjoy watching them, because you shake when you're lifting something heavy. I needed to see that quivering slowed down so you could see all the flesh and skin flapping around. That was something you missed on the first lift. That's why they do that. I don't know if
you need to see the bicep tearing in full speed. You need to be able to see that slowly. Just
you want to be able to see all the sinews snap one at a time, because before it was just like it was like all one thing.
But when you get to see each, humanize them so that we can see that they are actually struggling.
See, before it didn't look like he had problems, but
yeah.
Now
I would say that's my point. When it was at regular speed, it looked like he was struggling, and then slowing it down looks like it looks the same. It's not like a. But I guess the slight tremors is what you're saying. The slight tremors, you need to see those slowed down so you can appreciate them.
Are we doing this in all sports too? Can we slow down the putts?
Well, that's actually on my list. That's actually golf. They do have it. They do they show putts in slow motion in golf.
Super slow motion. Not like, half speed, but like maybe 1/10 of the speed, so you can see every blade of grass and how it influenced the ball. And then because if there's anything that we know about golf, it's like we need to slow this down. We need to pace ourselves with this sport.
Right.
Yeah. That and fishing.
Yep, fishing.
Fishing was also on my list.
Slow that down. We'll get back to the strongman really quickly. I can understand why they would do that with some of the weight that they lift, but maybe not the events where they pull like the bus. Have you seen that? Where they're like pulling a train or a bus and just.
I mean, it's not like that happens in the blink of an eye anyway.
Right.
Where he's like, whoa. What happened? I mean, the bus was on this side, and now it's on that side. What did we miss?
How much attention are you not paying? Yeah, exactly. How much attention are you not paying to what's going on? How did he get there from there? I don't know. It's just
Last I saw, he was 20 yards to my left, and now he's 20 yards to the right. What happened?
A mere half hour later, blink of an eye, he's 20 yards later. Let's go back and look at the tape.
We're going to have to look at the tape.
Yeah, they have to look at and see if it's a legal move, and also you want to make sure that your, chain pulling, bus yanking technique is superior. They want to make sure that's, because you can't just throw it over your shoulder and pull as hard as you can. There's technique involved, so you have to get the little nuances of the movement.
Is there an illegal maneuver in bus pulling, and that's what they slow it down for, to see if he's accidentally.
He stepped forward with his left foot first.
Yeah,
he's disqualified.
Here's something we missed when we were looking at it at regular speed. He hooked up a Clydesdale to the chain.
Thought he could get away with it. That's why we have these cameras.
And here's where he starts bleeding out of his nose.
You know what requires slow motion though? Have you ever watched a dunk contest?
Oh yeah.
Like you blink and you miss. You can't tell what they've done until they slow it down, and they're like,
I guess
oh.
the ball went through the hoop. I guess
like
that
even
was
the judges.
good.
The judges are like, they watch it, but then they immediately are watching the replay to see what actually happened. Because they do it.
And the crowd always goes insane no matter what the dunk is. Like, as long as they get it, they go crazy. And you have no idea what they did.
So there should be a slow motion. There should be a standard speed then for all sports. And if it's slower than this, then they speed it up to that speed. And if it's so that all sports take place at the same time.
It's like, hey, you have to throw a flag in football. Like, hey, he was sprinting way too fast. We need you.
There's too much speed.
Let's take it down a notch. We can't see you when you're running to step out of bounds. We can't make these calls.
Do they do replays in chess? Like if you watch the chess, yes, the answer is yes, they do.
But do they slow it down?
Sometimes they do.
You see the other reaction?
For the drama. What I would
Bishop, I can't believe
the only thing that they need to slow down in chess is the board flip at the end.
Pounding his chest.
When
pointed God.
Some Russian who's like 50 loses to like a 6-year-old.
What are you saying, Brian? John just caught up. Either my internet's slower.
Yeah, you need the slow motion for the board flip when like this Russian world champion who's like 50 loses to like a 6-year-old.
Slams the king.
He grabs up the king and hurls it into the audience as a souvenir.
Do they televise chess? Is that a thing?
Of course they do.
Really?
Of course they do, Luke. Yeah. Just because you're not interested in it doesn't mean that nobody else is.
It's on Twitch, bro.
Oh, Twitch.
Getting on Twitch.
It's not only televised, it's slowed down, and they show instant replays. The other thing that occurred to me is the word nestled can be used to sell anything. Like if you've got a property that's nestled somewhere, people will buy it. In the description you could say it is nestled in a crime-ridden inner-city slum.
This cute little farmhouse is nestled between a nuclear power plant and a cemetery.
This picturesque cottage is nestled beside a toxic waste dump.
You might have to add something, though, like nestled quaintly or nestled snugly. So this little apartment is
industrial buildings.
Yeah, I was going to say. This is nestled snugly, just intimate little section nestled in between two complete, industrial factory car plants.
Well, that's my point. Is nestled just covered nestled. Just makes they do the same thing with food. They nestle things in food too.
Nestle,
and people will eat them. This is glazed Brussels sprouts filled with peanut butter and sauerkraut, nestled in a bed of wild rice.
Does that Nestle?
And here's the slow motion replay and then eating the first bite.
There are things you would never eat until they are nestled into something else.
I don't know if they do that anymore, but that was every food
looks like he's going to vomit. He's going to, but he's holding it in. He's holding it in.
Brussels sprouts.
Nestled in a pile of upchuck.
I don't know if they do it anymore, but every food commercial
is nestled in the side of his cheek.
Every food commercial used to be some sort of slow-mo bite of something. I don't know if they do that anymore. Just like
that's true too. Or they pour things they pour liquid in slow motion.
Just pour,
See how it is similar to other liquids? Doesn't this make you want to?
Well, you don't see that when you pour it in, so they slow it all down so you can appreciate the physics, the liquid physics as they unfold.
Well, they had
of gravity.
Pour it. It's a wine commercial, and they pour it, and it just gets like a can of dog food. And it's just, you gotta wait for it. It's like cranberry sauce. You gotta wait for it to.
What kind of wine do you drink?
Junk style.
jiggles
like
like
my
jello.
wine that's not really liquefied yet.
Got bits of real grape.
You laugh, but as a nurse, we had to thicken up a lot of patients' drinks because they had swallowing problems, and so you would take a delicious drink and add this powder, and it was just this sludge that you'd pour out for them.
Oh.
Yeah.
They have swallowing problems, so you
Was
make
it like-
it thicker.
Yes, like they choke
desiccant?
if it's too liquidy, and so you'd have to have like nectar thickness, honey thickness, like oatmeal thickness.
Is it like the
That's-
little stuff,
see,
the packets
I mean-
that you get in electronics? Is like you dump that in there, like the desiccant?
It's similar, but
What
yeah.
was the-
Like that
Go.
seems like I want to believe you, and I do believe you, but it's just like,
want to believe you.
you know, you're having trouble swallowing. Here, how about this? Some cranberry sauce with Elmer's glue in it.
Super
That should-
thick.
That should help it go down, no problem.
It does seem different that you can't swallow water, but you can swallow pudding.
You can
It's
swallow sludge.
Right.
It's too splashy.
It's too splashy.
We have some mud
Yeah.
and some Quickcrete. We have some Quickcrete over here.
Don't you have anything? This water is kind of thin. Don't you
It's
have
kind
any?
of watery.
Do you have
Water was
anything
the
with
worst.
more substance?
Nothing
Follow
is
the
more.
logic all the way out. That means steak is easier to swallow
Are you,
without chewing.
are you watering down the water? All right, that's all I have. Who's going next?
That's it. Okay. Let me look. So if you got one, all right, go ahead.
I have this one I came up with today, actually, and I'm going to start off. I'm going to do it the way it always is funny to me when somebody makes declarations. You know, these big like, you know, I'm going to stand on my principles, and it's always about something that doesn't matter or that everyone kind of agrees with. Like, and I don't care who disagrees with me or who likes it. I'm just going to tell you that we need water to drink. Like, yes. You know,
Okay.
it's always something dumb like that, or, you know, I don't care who says anything. You know what? Insomnia sucks. All right, cool. And so my thing is, insomnia does suck. Because I suffer from insomnia, and it's just, it's really bizarre because your brain's just like, hey, you know, you could be sleeping, or, you know, you can be getting the healing that you need and go chasing your hopes and dreams, or we can just keep you awake all night with your regrets and fears. How about that? Does that sound good?
I like something too from like when you were a kid. You remember when you were trying to talk to that girl and then you laughed out of your nose and like a snot bubble came out? She probably still thinks about that. She's probably still gross. She probably stays up and goes, "Man, that kid was gross."
Yeah, remember that? She thinks you, and then that's what she's going to think the whole night. And I'm just going to put that in your brain. And then I'm going to make some weird noise appear in your brain, and you're going to think it's something in the house, and you're going to run around the house looking for it because you're not getting any sleep tonight.
Hey, I don't care who disagrees with me. I'm going to put on my socks, then my shoes.
There you go.
You gotta be super. You have to have a super attitude about that, though. Got to go all Alex Jones on it.
Right, you need like
Like-
patriotic music, you know. You need glory, glory, hallelujah behind it. And I'm going to tell you another thing.
I don't care if it makes me unpopular. I don't care if people are mad at me. But I'm anti-cruelty.
Don't punch the puppy.
It reminds me of when politicians are talking to each other or they're being interviewed and they automatically cut to what they wanted to say, regardless of what the question was.
Yeah, they're always like, you know, what do you think about the economy? And they're like, well, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you a little story about a lady named Carol that I met right here in whatever town we're in. And every morning, Carol gets up at 4:30 and takes a 3-hour trip into work on a pogo stick. That's right, on a pogo stick on the highway to do her 47-hour shift so that she can
her
feed her
12
family
kids.
of 7.5. My opponent wants to kill Carol.
Yeah, and her kids. Every day I think about Carol before I sign those those economic policies.
Well, there should be public pogo sticks.
Yeah, there should be. I do like that. I'm trying to remember some non-controversial controversies. Like who's arguing about this?
Mm-hmm. People should not. Yeah, you shouldn't give. I don't care. I don't care what people are going to say. We should not give poison to children.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, my opponent thinks that we should do everything that's bad. My opponent, let me tell you what my opponent thinks. Well, but I just listened to him. He didn't say any of that stuff. Who knows better? You can listen to him. You can listen to him.
He's a liar.
Yeah.
What is your position on the border? Cruelty is bad. What?
Yeah.
That's something we can all get behind, I'm sure. Yeah. This guy's a unifier. This guy's bringing people together.
I don't care what people say. Nobody needs a flamethrower.
With insomnia.
A flamethrower with insomnia.
Yeah.
Well,
nobody with insomnia needs a flamethrower.
No, my experience with insomnia is not my own. It's my wife who suffered from it for a while. And being the person who doesn't have the problem is, I won't say equally as hard, but it is hard because you feel guilty for sleeping. It's like I try to stay awake and suffer with her, but I can't do it. And I fall asleep and then I feel bad because she's awake when I wake up.
She's awake and has this waking nightmare. He's not understanding what's happening in real life.
You think insomnia is bad? You try living with the guilt of not having insomnia.
Yeah, basically.
When someone that you love is staying awake all night.
Does you or someone you love have insomnia? We're here to help you. Take
these caffeine pills.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't bring anything up, too, because that's a Trump. They got the Trump card. Because you're like, hey, did you do these dishes? I've had insomnia. And you're like, well, then
I've been awake for 74
I have to do the dishes. Yeah.
They should have support group meetings for like the, they have like children of alcoholics or whatever. Mm-hmm. They should have like spouses or, significant others of insomniacs.
It's like her problem is spilling over into my life and causing problems for me. I don't know how we need boundaries here.
Insomniac support meetings are funny. They probably have them at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're still serving coffee. Because why not?
Why not?
But at the support group, you wouldn't serve like chamomile or warm milk or something? Or...
At some point, do you just embrace it?
Yeah.
Stop trying to stop the melatonin, stop the noise machine.
Yep.
Just stay up.
Well,
time to build a shelf.
Let me go down a YouTube rabbit hole for 7 hours.
Learn a language.
Yep.
Oh.
And you just start watching whatever. And then I've gotten to the point where I just said this the other day and I was horrified. There's nothing on YouTube.
You reached the end.
I reached the end. I feel like I did. It's like how you sit there and you go, hey, there's nothing on TV right now. Like there's nothing on YouTube. Sure there is. You're just going to put in what you want to watch. There's everything on YouTube, but you just feel like, there's nothing on YouTube anymore.
I've seen it all.
Yep.
What you need
go
is
back
to
and watch the reruns. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You need to watch chess in slow motion. That'll do it.
Oh, see, that's what they'll be playing at the Insomniacs support meeting.
Anonymous. Insomniacs Anonymous.
Anonymous. What would be the 12 steps? You have like believe in a higher.
Well, first of all, there's 120 steps because
you got the time.
You got the time.
You don't really,
and that would be the upside, though, that you have an excuse for mediocrity. Everything that you do, all of your subpar performances, you just go, look, I haven't slept.
That's a great out. Get out of jail free card.
What are they going to
normal
say?
People, humans have this thing where their body shuts down and they recuperate. And mine's not doing that. I don't have that.
You get caught. You get caught with
what?
You get caught with $100 worth of merchandise, stuffed under your shirt, and they're like, "You shoplifted all of this stuff." It's like, hey, I haven't slept.
Oh, hey,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, take the flat screen.
So apparently Brian just cured his insomnia.
He just
asleep.
Collapsed onto the board, onto the keyboard.
Maybe he'll be back. What do you think? I don't know.
You want to wait? We can keep.
I don't know what happened to him. It was weird last week because he was the one who was having trouble, and so
he was a little pixelated.
Was it like a California? Oh no, I was gonna say Oregon internet brownout. Is what it is. They slow it down.
The Great Oregon Brownout.
I don't know if I like that. They say they don't do blackouts, right, in California? It's called a brownout, right? Am I saying it right?
Right. They don't do blackouts because that would be racist.
Well, how is brown any better?
It's more inclusive.
It sounds covers more shades.
The brownouts, they're power outages of color, POCs.
POO.
POOCs. Pooks.
We're having a little pook. We're having a little pook right now.
Power outage.
Kids, get the
color.
candles. Time for pook.
Mm-hmm.
It's pook time.
Pook. All right, so
I can do a thing.
Go ahead, do a thing.
And we can. I have I'm experimenting. I'm going to tell a story. Okay, so we were in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. Have you ever been there?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a vacation spot.
Yep.
Well, there's a Great Wolf Lodge up there. Well, we found a place called the Paul Bunyan Cook Shanty. And Paul Bunyan's out front. He's waving you in. Hey, folks, come on in. And so I guess the theme is, Midwest loggers camp kind of things. Because you go in and there's picnic tables set end to end. And you just sit there with strangers on both sides and you eat pancakes until you're ready to throw up. So they also have like biscuits with sugar on them. But when you first walk in and you're waiting in line, I don't even know what that, because that's the other part I was thinking about is this really what lumberjacks eat? Do they eat like super thick pancakes, but also let's put cinnamon biscuits? It's like, Jean-Luc, I like these, I like all this bacon, but where's our biscuits with the cinnamon sugar? I think that was a thing. But when you first walk in, you're waiting for a long time because obviously this is a hot spot for everybody to go to. But on the wall and up on top is so he has a Babe, the blue ox, but it's a mounted head. So it's like one of those trophies, like if somebody shoots a deer and they put the head on the wall. It's Babe, the blue ox. But okay, Brian, I'm talking about. We got more if you wanted to do your thing.
Yeah, sorry about that. My computer crashed because I haven't slept all night.
Brian, John was talking about that when you left. It's like every excuse you have for being a. Yeah.
Joanna's talking about how about going to the Wisconsin Dells and eating pancakes, and somehow he thinks that cinnamon and sugar is
It's
not
a lumberjack
manly.
meat.
Yeah, that somehow there's a threshold where if you cross a certain manliness, you cross below a certain level of manliness, suddenly you start to like the taste of cinnamon and sugar. Is that your premise?
A lumberjack. So that's I thought they were just doing like lumberjack meals because they bring it out to you in like this gold miner's pan that so you got pancakes in there, but like I thought you just eat like dry pancakes and pine cones. I thought that's what lumberjacks ate. I'm a man of the woods. But when you walk in, Babe the blue ox. So it's Paul Bunyan's cook shanty. Paul Bunyan's out front. He's like 10-foot statue out there. You walk in and Babe's on the wall, just the head. And I'm like, what happened here? Was it because that's his best friend, right? That's the folk tale is Paul Bunyan, he's chopping out trees, and there's Babe the blue ox there to help him take all the trees and throw them in the river. I think he straightened out a river or something at one point. So his best friend is a taxidermy piece. But I don't know if he he ran into was he hit by a car or something, and he was just like one of those people that stuffs their pets and you keep them in the house, that's weird anyway too. I don't know if you've ever met somebody like that. I haven't yet, but I know what's happened. It's like, what's that dog over in the corner? Oh, that's Fluffy. He was our dog for 20 years, and we thought, oh, just keep him. So I didn't know if, or was it like
empty skin?
We want to be reminded that he's dead. So we're just gonna.
How do I write this down? Oh,
every day.
And over here next to Fluffy is Grandma, and so she's looking good too. So everybody's got Grandma, and we got Fluffy.
Well, the other thing too, if you put in 50 cents, Babe will tell you a story about how they. Yeah, so it's like,
which you did, right?
Yeah, Babe is known in the folklore as always been able to tell a good yarn, spin a good yarn for the guys around the campfire. Hey, Babe, you're an ox. Tell us something.
Come here. You're a giant, strangely colored ox.
Well, I wrote down a quote. It's like, Paul and I used to go around this great land helping shape it into what it is today. Because, Paul and Babe are known for starting Walmart, I think, and tanning salons, I think, was another one of their accomplishments.
They invented democracy.
I would love to hear a different version of a story. Paul's Babe's just like, Paul's really not the nicest guy. He's not even a good lumberjack. Doesn't wear the safety belt.
He curses constantly and hits women.
That's right.
And he eats cinnamon and sugar.
That's right.
You may think Paul's the biggest, manliest man in the world, but let me tell you this.
Let me tell you what color underwear he wears.
He's not even as cool as the brawny guy on the paper towel.
He's got a... I have to sing him to sleep every night.
Yeah, it's just like therapeutic for him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you guys don't know the half of it. I just stand out in the field for just hours. Oh, he's just trying to cut down a tree, and I'm like, get it over with already.
Come on, Paul. You don't have to get it in one swing, buddy.
We're losing life.
Just everybody. That's what I wrote down was like, it was like I already knew some of the stories from watching the Disney special, but I was like, I need dirt. I want the backstory. It's like, I was like when he got we got home late drinking a water tower stein full of beer. Did he crawl by a lost love? Did he cheat at cards? Did he make you do all the cooking? Is he your murderer? Because your head's on the wall. Did he eat you, Babe? Did it get desperate one winter?
And that was my thought. Like he started the restaurant
with the back.
He started the restaurant with Babe's meat.
With the tail end of.
Look at this rib. This is incredible. I'm coming back. Well, there's only like 12 of them. Sorry.
Well, Babe, this restaurant, we're not pulling in the numbers, and so we got to cut back on supply of meat. So we're gonna just have to find what we can around here.
I'm looking at you, Babe.
There is something strangely. It is a blind spot if you're opening up a restaurant that's themed with Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox, and you have nothing but Babe's head mounted on the wall. That doesn't show a lot of. They didn't consider all the possible perspectives when they did that.
Going to Disneyland and seeing just Mickey and Minnie's head mounted on the
wall.
Right. It's like, is anybody going to have a problem with this?
I don't know. Would you want to see Bunyan's head on the wall? I think I'd rather see Babe's.
Why not?
You're right.
Why would you have to mount any head on the wall? I mean, what's?
You have to. Do you think Bunyan and Johnny Appleseed, had a beef?
That's what I was thinking. Did they ever wrestle?
I think they should have found a nameless moose or elk and mounted that head on the wall.
Yeah,
and then Babe could have told about how they killed it.
This guy
was out there killing all my woodland friends. Just when I finally meet somebody I like.
You think moose get along with everybody else in the forest, but not this guy.
This guy's got a problem. He's psycho.
He was knocking squirrels out of the trees for fun. He just use his horn and kick them out of there. It's a, by the way, didn't know if you knew this. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet, not buffet. They just keep bringing you pancakes. And like they're this thick and like this big around, and you eat 3 of them. And then she goes, "You want any more?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I can eat." And she goes, "Are you sure? Are you okay?"
The answer is yes.
Yeah, it's like you want more. To me, it's like if you don't. Apparently, there's some unwritten law that you have to eat this much, or like you're either ill or something's wrong with you. I guess that is the lumberjack part. Is like you eat 12 pancakes or something's wrong with you.
Right.
They don't give you a knife. It's a tiny axe.
Yeah,
Just like swinging through.
just a chainsaw, a little mini chainsaw to just cut through it.
You getting shrapnel all over everybody.
I want to go.
You want to go to Paul Bunyan's cook shanty? I can't remember
I've
if it
been
was
to the
camp
Dells several times. I just have never been to. I've been to Great Wolf Lodge too, but I haven't been to Paul Bunyan's.
Did you say
Shanty.
Adele's?
Wisconsin
Adele's
Dells, not
Pancake House.
Adele's.
She's Adele's Pancake House in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin.
That's what.
Rolling in the deep.
What was that? That's what I'm trying to think of some of the words. Hello.
That's like one of the meal names.
Walk in.
Rolling in the deep. It's
Hello.
12 fluffy, silver dollar pancakes along with half a gallon of maple syrup.
All deep fried.
I did write down. I just realized I wrote down a list of lumberjack eats. So obviously, fresh buttermilk pancakes, sausage links and ham, scrambled eggs, camp fried potatoes, biscuits and gravy. Then there's whole milk buttermilk donut. I didn't know if that. Also, tree bark, chewing tobacco, and the bones of your enemies. I was wondering how long I needed to make that list. Because I also got bacon, steak, and T-bone provided by Babe. So like, I sure do miss Babe, but man, we got meat for years.
It doesn't even have to be enemies. It could just be passers-by.
Passersby. The unfortunate souls who were trapped
Tourists.
between the flying trees that I hacked.
Well, the deal was, if my lore is correct, that Paul Bunyan was a giant himself, correct?
Right.
And then Babe was
huge.
also a giant, but all of it, like a giant blue ox. But all of the pictures that you see have Paul Bunyan like towering over Babe, at least all the ones that I've seen. And so proportionally, Babe is, if Babe was a giant ox, then he should have been as big or even maybe a little bigger than Paul Bunyan, unless Paul Bunyan was sort of a smallish
He
giant.
was a smaller giant. Yeah,
Is
as
that what
far
it
as
was?
giants go.
Is that the thing that there's a rule that all giants need to be proportionate? Like there's no different sizes of giant?
I'm just
Maybe-
saying.
Maybe,
Babe-
ox.
Babe
Giants
stands
or-
about he looks like a German Shepherd. He looks like the size of a German Shepherd compared to Paul Bunyan. And in real life, an ox is substantially bigger. Like if you stand next to an ox, they're huge. They're enormous.
Can't put a saddle on that.
No.
Well, maybe so. He might have been bigger than usual oxes, and then, like you're saying, Paul Bunyan was bigger than, like he was a
An
bigger
average
giant.
giant.
He was average giant, whereas Babe probably didn't come out.
You know what it was? It was
Babe is
probably
an average giant blue ox, and Paul was an above average giant.
average, yeah.
Yeah, either that or it was 3 giant children all on shoulders wearing a trench coat.
3 overly oversized children. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why he wobbled so much when he
yeah, they
walked. It
walk
was like,
in.
whoa, that guy's
Arms
Paul
are
Bunyan
just
can
all,
swing an axe, but he doesn't have very good balance.
He's pretty unsteady.
That's why he's
old
gotta have
Paul.
He had Paul Bunyan's.
He
That's-
walks.
That's my thing. That's what I've got. I've got more, but I
Okay.
think
Nice.
that's all I got on that.
I could visualize that place, especially like the gold pan plates. I think that's a nice thing. It's
There
like
was
you
a
get a guaranteed nugget in each pancake or something.
and it's a chicken nugget.
There was a place when we were in Branson, the place that we were at in Branson, that was how they served dinner. They would bring the beans out in buckets and they would like trowel it out onto your plate. They would go around, more beans,
smack it down.
Potatoes, everything came out of a bucket.
Is that all they
bucket
served
of
you?
potatoes?
When the dinner
It was
bell
called
rings,
just beans. It was the bean bucket.
The bean bucket.
They had some sort of beef too, I think, some kind of meat product that didn't come from a bucket, but everything else, like the bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had
They would just come out and throw the rolls, and
they never threw the rolls, Brian. That would have been cool, but they never did. But they did serve the beans and the potatoes. I remember specifically from a bucket.
It's like they're trying to find the thing. What can they use that would make you not want to receive food from that container? So there's bucket already. We got a gold mining pan. You could do a pig trough. You could do a barrel. You could eat straight out of a barrel. They could bring you a literal horse bag.
You could eat it off the ground.
Strap it on your face. Welcome to the floor buffet.
yeah, it's just in a
Step
trough.
in and just pick it up.
They just ladled it right onto the floor, and you just.
Oh, it's okay. We mop up after every night.
Well, that's the thing about themes, particularly Western themes and old time themes, is they are like we want to capture the essence of what it was like to eat at a lumberjack camp, and so we think that the best way to do that is to just be unsanitary.
We bring your food out on a flannel shirt. That's your. Who got
a dirty flannel shirt.
Who got the soup? Hurry up!
There was a not King Richard's Fair because it was a fair, but it was like I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a show.
Renaissance or something?
It was like a Renaissance like musical show and a like dinner theater.
Okay.
And it was, that period, so they didn't have silverware. So they would just bring it. You had to eat like your salad with your hand, and just everything was with your hand.
Yeah, people love that stuff. People love to be uncivilized and risk getting, diseases that we thought we had conquered.
Welcome to medieval times, where you can receive the sicknesses that they had at medieval times.
Have you guys seen The Cable Guy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That
He's like,
jousting restaurant.
He goes, they didn't have utensils, but they had Pepsi.
Right. Anyway, mine was something I wrote down a couple days ago about how when people say live a little, like it's never about a wise decision. It's never like you should start taking a multivitamin. Live a little. It's always something that's not good for you.
Yeah, just suck on the end of this car battery. Live a little.
I know.
That's just true.
That's all I have.
Here's a carrot.
No one ever
live a
gives
little.
you good advice and then says live a little bit. It's always some terrible thing that's probably
Invest your money in this 401k. Live a little.
Wait, turn in at 8:00.
Live a little.
Live a little.
Yeah.
Come on.
Forgo dessert. Live a little.
So I had that.
That's so true.
And how everybody has something that they're compulsive about. And for me, it's checking the mailbox every day, because to not do it just seems disrespectful. Like if I'm a mailman and I pull up and I open the box and I see yesterday's labor going completely unnoticed, like I, for one, don't want that on my conscience. And so I don't even let them know if I get someone else's package. I just become a mailman for the day. Like it's a quest.
I'm going to find where this is.
Yeah. I got a Victoria's Secret package accidentally one time, and I drove to the person's house and hand delivered it.
You're just like, it's not my size.
Yeah.
So
that's all I have on that.
So your burden is the mailman. You don't want the mailman. You want him to feel like he's doing a good job.
I want him to keep bringing the mail.
That you appreciate the mailman.
You also don't want him to realize that you maybe are not home and are on vacation and he's going to break into your house.
Well,
you're afraid he's going to open up the mailbox, see yesterday's mail in there and go, why do I even bother?
Exactly. That's exactly
Why do I
my
bother
thought.
showing up? This unappreciative louse.
I like the idea of a guy,
Dude,
the mailman walking up
egg
after
this house on Halloween.
I was gonna say, I like the idea of a mailman, like a day's worth of mail is in there. He gets out of the truck and walks over, knocks on the door. You too good for these catalogs and junk mailing receipts? You get out here and you grab this mail and you read through all of it. Nothing's going in the trash.
I'm freezing to death in the winter. I'm sweating to death in the summer.
Hail, sleet, snow.
I love that he's from New Jersey. That just
Always
makes it better.
Yeah.
Every time
It's
there's
always.
a guy with an attitude, always go.
Yeah.
Those are the mailmen. Those are the mailmen that are going to be the most upset by. They're going to take it personally if you don't go and get the mail. And like he's sitting out front of your house after that, and like he puts the mail in, and then he just goes and sits in the truck and waits.
Let's go.
The following day, he puts like a dead fish in there. Just,
Hey,
I'll show you. I'll show you.
You think you're too good for a penny pincher? Everybody needs to save money.
I got your
The
coupons.
coupons. Come on, man. I don't need a big screen.
Hey, check your mail. Check your mail. Live a little.
I don't need real estate. This is my house.
I actually
real
have
estate.
the post office emails me what I'm going to get in the mailbox.
It's a rundown. It's like an itemized list.
They scan it in so you can even see like the letters and everything.
You got a political mailer. We got a dentist appointment reminder.
Yep.
You have
Wow.
Yeah.
you have a credit card application that would reject you anyway if you applied for it.
So now I know when I need to check the mail because like these things are coming in your mail today.
So you get email about your mail,
Yes.
the snail mail.
Which it would be funny if they took it like a step
Took a
further.
picture
They're
of
like,
A postcard.
yeah, they like,
Send you a postcard of coming mail.
yeah, and they read it.
Soon to your
What to
mailbox.
look for tomorrow? Here's
Wow.
It's
Thank you, USPS.
it's pretty
This is why
accurate.
stamps are $5.
All right, legit. Like I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but
What does it say?
Oh, I can see it.
coming
Just like a
soon.
picture of an envelope?
Coming to your mailbox.
Look
and
what you
then-
can expect.
And I can expect.
Crazy.
You know what would really make it really relative, though, is if they made a trailer for all the mail. In a mailbox.
In front of
Coming
your
this
house.
summer. Coming
One
this
man.
Wednesday.
One man leaves his home.
It has jury duty.
You'd watch that. You're like, oh, man, that's in my mailbox?
Remember when we used to deliver messages with a runner? I mean, obviously we wouldn't remember that, but like it's funny that we
like
had
a
people just
messenger?
running. They would just run to like DoorDash.
Yeah, I would be the worst, for sure. I would, well, like, not
Hey,
because I don't like running,
Gerald
but
was saying it was important. That's why he sent me. No, it was important. Just give me a second.
You know Gerald, right? Because
It was
what would he be?
I'll be back.
yeah.
Let me go. Yeah.
once?
Don't go
Just,
anywhere.
yeah, stay here because I don't want to run further. Or you want to come with me?
I think it was about your
There we go.
wife or something or your kids. I
Yeah.
don't
What if
Yeah.
what if there was a
maybe
they
I
sent
don't
a,
know. Is it
sent
their
a
birthday?
message? They sent a message that you didn't understand. You know, he sent you a message that some part of it was incomprehensible to you, and so you send the runner back with a message. It just goes, "Huh?" and then you have to repeat it, and then the guy has to come back.
Or
Or
just
you
send
get
them a message,
runners
The
and
flamingo
the message.
flies at noon.
You've got a local company just sending runners doing their junk mail, so you don't even want to answer the door anymore.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
You're getting-
Macy's is having a sale this weekend. 20% off all men's underwear.
It's like junk.
junk messages.
Junk messages.
They're all lined up out front. You go out the front door, and they
You
just
look the line.
They all want a tip.
one after the other.
You
Isn't
guys
it
have
time for
solar?
a change in Washington?
Yeah.
How would you delete those guys? Just kind of shove them out of the way. Delete. Junk messages. And there's
How Paul
auto.
Bunyan would delete those guys.
Like if one of the messengers has a typo somehow.
Throw them away unopened.
Your mom says she wants you to come hlob. I don't know what are you trying to
You'd
say?
have to hire a guy to do your voicemail. It's like you have 7
Oh, yeah.
unopened runners.
Yeah.
This is Bob. He'll be taking all your messages.
Tell him.
Hi, it's your mother. I'm not buying this, Bob. A little more, a little higher pitch. Hi, it's your mother.
Puts
You
on
never
a wig.
call.
What do you do if you get to a house and they're not there? Like, what's the appropriate amount of time to wait?
I immediately go away.
Well,
If
you
I don't
just
see
ran
the
5
message.
miles.
Oh, you mean if you're the messenger? How do
If
you?
you're the
yeah.
messenger, yeah.
How do you? I thought you meant just in general. I thought you were switching gears on us.
No.
Well, it was a different time. Yeah, we're not. Yeah,
People
can you
didn't
imagine,
go
Can you
outside
imagine
then.
applying our short attention span, rapid lifestyles to those ancient times where it's like, send a messenger, and he's like, well, there was nobody home. I guess I'm out of here. And it's like, well, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not how they function because they were.
There's like a
They were
war going
surprised
on.
when people were home.
There's a war going on. Did you tell the general? He's like, man, I could find him.
I looked around. I knocked twice.
And back in that time frame where it was like customer service is really mad. So the guys like following you around town trying to find you at like the grocery store. Just like coming in, looking around. Hey, I got a message for you.
He just runs away. Oh, I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
a
I'm in
town.
trouble.
Town criers would just yell stuff at you. Can you imagine if that was how it still worked, where people would just yell the news? If anybody had a particular
Yelling
piece
the
of news,
news.
they would just go out in public and just yell it at you.
Have you been on social media? That's not happening.
The all caps.
All caps.
Right.
All they do is yell.
But imagine that like it playing out in real life. Imagine the social media method playing out in public with actual people. Like you're trying to read, you're trying to read something, and the guy goes and knocks it out of your hand and puts a different ad in front of you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you get up on a soapbox or something in the middle of the square and hear ye, hear ye. I went to the restaurant last night and I had a steak, quite large and enjoyable.
And you running around pulling the headphones out of people's ears as you're doing that. I had a steak. Did you hear me?
Hear ye, hear ye. My child can swim.
There's no spam filter for that. You can't filter that out.
Yeah, they're doing. I unfriend you.
My child
I'm blocking this guy.
can swim.
I've got the best new tennis shoes. You should try them. I get a kickback for everyone who uses this code.
Hear ye.
Yeah, the bell. Abercrombie and Fitch is paying me to tell you that their pants are the best.
You don't need to suffer with hay fever. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh gosh, a commercial. A crummy ad. Here's how I do makeup. I would gather people, wouldn't it?
Just trying to get my mail.
Come see the latest dance I can do. What's funny is with TikTok and stuff and how things get viral, I thought my kids had a good taste in music, but it turns out they just saw it on a video somewhere. It's like somebody made a mashup of a video game and it's got like Led Zeppelin on it. And so my son's pulling out Led. I go, where'd you hear this? He's like, oh, it's like a Metal Gear Solid meme. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll get it wherever I can take it.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, it's like, I guess I thought you'd. Yeah.
Okay.
My face hurts.
Okay, we'll stop then.
All right,
Hey,
we're gonna
you
stop
went,
then.
didn't you, John?
50 minutes, you guys.